Hi, Megan.
Hi there. I'm so excited to see everyone's face.
Good to see you. We're waiting to ensure that we meet quorum. We need one more member to join on before we can move forward. But just wanted to say hi. It's good to see you.
I know, it's good. I missed you.
Missed you too.
Ms. Sutton, I have been informed that we have quorum now, so we're going to go ahead and start.
And just to clarify for everybody, the reason you have quorum now is because you are starting with 2 open seats. One is a community seat, one's a swing seat. So that means your total voting members are 7. So quorum for right now is 4. If Mr. Winston is one of the nominees, then he will then make 5 and you'll be able to maintain your quorum as you nominate people.
Oh, excellent.
Because I don't want you all thinking that you can then move forward and have only 4 people for quorum. I just want to make sure it's clear.
Again, thank you all so much for coming out. I'd like to first say thank you to Ms. Jacoby and for Dr. Mahan. This is our very first Go Team meeting as our principal. Yay!
All right.
So, call to order. Good evening. Welcome to Price Go Team's first meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the Go Team may participate in this discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. Our first order of business is to call roll, and I will serve as the secretary until we have filled that position. Ms. Sutton.
Present.
Ms. Arthur.
Present.
Ms. Ferguson.
Here.
And Mr. Jackson, I am here. That is our quorum. So at this time, we have established that there is a quorum and we shall move forward. Okay, so the approval of the agenda. Our first order of business is approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies have been presented out to everyone in email. Are there any changes to the agenda? Okay, seeing that there are maybe no changes, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I, Keely Sutton, motion to approve the agenda.
May I have a second?
I'm Megan Arthur, second.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. All opposed, please say nay, or any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand. At this time, we have approved the agenda. Okay, so the previous minutes were sent, they weren't sent out to the team. They were from when Principal Lukman, Abdul Rahman was the principal. So Mr. Jacoby, how do we proceed with that?
So if you don't currently have the minutes, then you can table this for now and try to get a hold of those minutes for your next meeting.
Okay. So do we need to send them out to everybody since there was a change in leadership?
You always have to send them out to everybody on the team before the meeting. So yes, you would have to send them because
Okay.
it's just,
I'll make note
it's
of that.
good governance to send out any documents that you know you're going to have to be voting on prior to the meeting. So people have time to review them.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we'll table the notes from the previous minute. Are there any additional items that we need to, action items that we need to discuss?
You need to fill the open seats.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I'm looking at the wrong document. Okay, I'm sorry, we didn't go over our norms, so I'll read them out. So our first norms is treat one another with respect. I'm sorry. Treat one another with dignity and respect. Actively listen. Be open-minded with all suggestions. Take time to reflect and absorb information before responding. Okay, so we need to fill actual 3 seats: an instructional staff seat, a community member seat, and another community member seat, because we lost Ms. King.
I delegated Pastor Winston and Lady Winston for the community seats.
Okay.
Excuse me, one quick question. You said Miss King, is that Kenesha King?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she was in a parent seat, correct? She was one of your parents?
Yes, she was.
Okay. Did
No.
she,
She was a community member, I believe.
no, I think she ran because we have her as a parent, which means that she
Okay.
would have had, so she was a community member. But she was also a parent. So did she, I just want to make sure that our records are straight. Did she resign from the team?
Yes, she resigned. We actually attempted to have this first meeting the 3rd week of August, that Thursday, and the Wednesday before she resigned.
Okay, if you can, please forward that email to our office for our records.
Okay, I will
And-
do that.
And then my next question is for
Mhm.
Pastor Wilson and Pastor Winston and Lady Winston. If they are married or related, they can't serve, but they both can't serve on the team at one time.
Okay, she's here to observe in the event that if I'm not able to make it, so can we do that way, or are we able
Yeah,
to do
you can,
it?
no, you can definitely do it that way if you'd
Yeah.
like, where you're the main contact point,
Right.
but because they do have those 2 open seats, 1 community seat and 1 swing seat, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't going to violate the bylaws by having 2 family members fill the seats on the team.
Mhm.
Okay, so Pastor Winston, do you desire to be a member of the Price Go team?
Yes.
Okay, if I can have you at this time to mute your mic so that we can vote.
If you don't mind, Mr. Jackson,
Mhm.
I'm going to need to have the principal formally make the nomination to
Okay,
nominate Pastor Winston for the community seat, and then the team will need to vote.
okay.
Thank you.
So I nominate Pastor Winston to fill the vacant position of community seat. Does anyone have any comments or discussion about this nominee? We will now vote on the nomination of Pastor Winston for the position of community seat. All in favor, please say yes or raise your hand.
Yes.
All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand. We will now move to fill we have an open swing seat, correct, Mr. Kobe?
Yes, ma'am.
This person will serve on the GO team for a full 2-year term. Nominations for the swing seat may be made by any GO team member. Does anyone have a nomination for the swing seat?
This can be a question, not this can be a question, I'm asking a question, my apologies. The swing seat can be a community member, anyone. I motion to nominate KDOW, Ms. Gay, as a representative for the swing seat.
Am I able to make a nomination, Mr. Kofi, or no?
Yes, ma'am, you may make a nomination, but you may not vote. And Pastor Winston, since you have been approved by the team, you are now a full voting member of the team, so you may participate in all discussions and votes. So congratulations.
Thank you.
But yes, Dr. Mahan, you may make a
Okay.
nomination.
I nominate Ms. Ferguson for the swing seat.
So is this Jaquita Ferguson?
And I'm thinking, yes,
So
it is.
she's already on the team. She was elected into a staff seat this past
So if her
this
seat
past
will be
spring.
changing, we should just wait until that time. Her seat will be changing in September. Her position will be changing in September.
Will she still be a non-supervisory instructional staff member in your building?
No,
Then you can do that. You can nominate her for the swing seat if she's willing and wants to do that. So you can vote on that.
Okay.
Ms. Ferguson, can you please voice your if you would accept that change in seat designation?
I'll still.
Okay, thank you.
do we have any nominations, any further nominations for the swing seat? So I heard two
I-
nominations. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I had nominated KDOW, but I will remove that nomination. I thought that Ms. Ferguson was also still on our governing board, which is why I didn't recommend it. But if she accepts the nomination for that swing
Oh.
seat, then mine is null and void.
Thank you for your nominations. We will now proceed to vote to fill the swing seat. Before we begin with voting, does anyone have additional comments or discussions about any of the nominees? Okay, we will now proceed to vote on the nomination for the swing seat of Ms. Ferguson for the swing seat member. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. Okay. Those are our two seats, correct, Mr. Jacoby?
For today, yes. So then at your next meeting, if I'm understanding what you have told me, you do have a vacant parent seat. Miss King resigned, and now you also now have a vacant staff seat that you will have to fill.
Do we proceed with the chair?
So now you would proceed with electing officers, yes.
We will now move to electing GO team officers and representatives. Before we begin the nomination, I'd like to remind the GO team of the following. Nominations do not have to be second. A member may nominate themselves. A member may nominate more than one person for any position. A member may decline a nomination during the nomination process. Members may not serve more than 2 consecutive terms in the same office or position at the same school. Nominees do not have to leave the room during the process. If there is more than one nominee per elected office, each nominee will be offered an opportunity to share why they should be elected to the seat. The newly elected officers will assume their position starting at the conclusion of this meeting and serve for 1 year or until a new officer is elected. All voting members have only 1 vote per seat. First, we will elect the Go Team's chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the chair include, but are not limited to, leading Go Team meetings, working with the principal and Go Team to develop meeting agendas, ensuring every Go Team member has an opportunity to be heard, monitoring team compliance. I will now open the floor to receive chair nominations.
I, Keely Sutton, nominate Mr. Charlie Jackson for Go Team Chair.
With all due respect, we love the service that Mr. Jackson has given to your team, but he has served as chair in the past 2 school years. So per the handbook and our bylaws, he cannot serve as chair this year. So y'all need a new chair. He did a great job. We really like him, but
This is not a nomination or recommendation, but is there a list of the positions with like a description? Or is it just this one position that we'll be voting on?
you're going to be voting on 3 officers. There's the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary. So the chair leads the meetings, helps sets the agenda. The vice chair leads into the parliamentary procedure kind of role of making sure everybody gets a chance to speak, that you follow procedure. And secretary is responsible for taking the minutes and ensuring documents are posted in accordance with open meeting and open record laws. And then the 4th position that you guys will be deciding on is something called cluster representative. It's the person who will go to the 4 cluster meetings throughout the school year. And that person can also serve in an officer position. So you could be chair, vice chair, or secretary and cluster representative.
Thank you.
And just to let you all know, for the officer positions, we have all the stuff you need. We provide training. We will create things if you need. We have scripts, we have templates, we have trainings, we have support. So this is something that we're here to help with.
I nominate Ms. Keely Sutton for Go Team Chair.
Is it time for seconding? Because I second that.
Would Ms. Sutton, would you like to decline the nomination?
I cannot decline. I will accept the nomination.
If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have 1 person being considered for the chair seat. The nomination for chair is Ms. Keely Sutton. At this time, I will offer Ms. Keely Sutton an opportunity to explain why she's the best candidate for the position. Other Go Team members may ask Ms. Sutton questions before voting.
Hello, everyone. This feels so awkward. I feel like I would be an ideal candidate for this position. I have worked alongside Mr. Jackson for the last few years on the Go Team as his co-chair. So I am cognizant of Go Team bylaws, what this requires. Am fully embedded and dedicated, obviously, to this team and governance and community as a community and engagement servant and liaison to our families. So I would be honored to take on this role and continue the service that Mr. Jackson has led for the last few years in his honor. So thank you, Mr. Jackson. And I got a thumbs up from my son, so apparently this is an okay for him.
Please raise your hand to vote for your choice for our chair, our Go Team chair, Ms. Keely Sutton. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. Congratulations, Ms. Keely Sutton. You will serve as the Go Team chair for the 2023-2024 school year. Thank you. Congratulations to you.
Thank you all.
Now we will elect the Go Team's vice chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the vice chair include, but are not limited to, ensuring the Go Team follows parliamentary procedures, working with the principal and chair to develop meeting agendas, acting as chair if the chair is not present. I will now open the floor to receive vice chair nominations. I nominate Mr. Charlie Jackson as vice chair.
I, Keely Sutton, second that nomination.
Mr. Jackson, would you like to decline the nomination?
No, I fully accept.
If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for vice chair seat. At this time, we will offer Mr. Jackson an opportunity to explain why he would be the best candidate for the position. Other Go Team members may ask Mr. Jackson questions before we vote.
Thank you again for this opportunity. I just love what I do for Price. For whatever cause Price needs, but I feel that I'm probably best suited to support Ms. Sutton, not only in this, but also throughout the day, as her job takes her different places. Mine is sort of in one place, and so I'm able to kind of move about and be support to her, not only Dr. Mahan as well. So I'm very honored to be a part, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make Price work.
Please raise your hand to vote for Mr. Jackson as our vice chair of the Go Team. Thank you. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. Congratulations, Mr. Charlie Jackson. You will serve as the Go Team vice chair for this school year. Thank you. Now we will elect the Go Team secretary. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the secretary include, but are not limited to, posting Go Team documents. This would include agendas, summaries, and minutes to the website, taking minutes at Go Team meetings, and ensuring the Go Team is in compliance with Georgia open meeting laws. I will now open the floor to receive secretary nominations. I nominate Ms. Ferguson.
No, I'm sorry, my hand wasn't raised.
Okay,
I raised it to vote for Mr. Jackson.
okay.
I don't know how to unraise it.
Just press raise again. It'll take it down.
Thank you, thank you.
So you're declining that that nomination, Ms. Ferguson, are you?
Let's see if we have anyone else to take on that role. I also,
Thank you, Ms.
We love you, Ms. Ferguson.
If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for the secretary seat. The nomination for secretary is Ms. Ferguson. At this time, I will offer Ms. Ferguson an opportunity to explain why she is the best candidate for the position. Other Go Team members, you will have a chance to question Ms. Ferguson before voting.
I would say I'm the best candidate for the Go Team secretary position because I served part of last school year. I'm very good with documentations and meeting deadlines.
Please raise your hand to vote for Ms. Ferguson as secretary of our Go Team. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. Ms. Arthur, is your hand raised? Or, okay, I saw you put it down. Congratulations, Ms. Ferguson. You will serve as the Go Team secretary for this school year. Thank you. Now we will elect the Go Team's cluster representative. Cluster representatives may also hold an office position. So a cluster representative could be a chair, a vice chair, or secretary. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the cluster representative include, but are not limited to, attending all cluster advisory team meetings, there are approximately 4, reporting back to the Go Team on the CAT meeting or the cluster advisory team meeting. I will now open the floor to receive cluster representative nominations.
I have a question. When are those meetings held? At approximately what time and the dates? Do anyone know?
So the meetings are generally held at 5 or later, but just like you will do on your Go Team, the cluster advisory team will vote on the meeting time. They are virtual. The first one is for all of the clusters, and it is on Monday, September 18th at 5 virtually. And then the what happens is the Carver cluster will get together and determine what the rest of the meeting schedule looks like for the 3 meetings for the rest of the year.
And a person that's holding a position represent multiple, so they can represent.
Yes, it could be the chair, the secretary, or vice chair could also serve as the cluster representative.
Okay.
What kinds of things happen at those meetings? Like, I want to make sure I fully understand, is it that the person's coming in kind of reporting on what's happening at the school, or like what occurs in those meetings, in the cluster meetings?
So each cluster is a little different as to what they focus on in a year. I know that in Carver, the past couple of years, they've had a really strong focus on both their signature programs and the One Carver idea. I think they're going to be continuing with some of that. The expectation for the cluster representative is that if Price, if something really big is happening at Price, like we're going to institute coding for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, something that will impact vertically, or you need the elementary schools to help feed vertically, that's definitely something that you would want to report out on. But it's a lot of talking about the cluster on the whole. What does it look like for all the elementary schools? What does it look like for all the middle schools, so that we can all work together? And then you just bring information back to the Go Team so that the Go Team at Price is aware of what's going on in the rest of the cluster, and you take information from Price back there. And don't forget, the principal is also a member of the cluster advisory team. So this is where there are 2 people from every Go Team who go, the principal and the person selected.
I nominate Ms. Keely Sutton. Mr. Kobe, you said that these meetings are all virtual?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Sutton, would you like to decline the nomination?
Absolutely not. I will accept.
Thank you. If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin our confirmation process. We have one person being considered for cluster representative seat. The nomination for the cluster representative is Ms. Keely Sutton, and at this time, I will offer her an opportunity to explain why she's the best candidate for the position. All of the Go Team members may ask questions before voting.
As a member who was a part of the One Carver collaboration team and having an opportunity to work with all of the schools in our cluster, I believe I would be an ideal candidate. This is already work that I'm currently doing. This will just be on a grander scale for me, for our Go Team, just keeping you abreast of the activities that are taking place across the cluster, in addition to highlighting all of the wonderful things that we're doing here at Price.
Thank you. Please raise your hand to vote for Ms. Keely Sutton as cluster representative of our Go Team. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. Congratulations, Ms. Sutton. You will also serve as Go Team cluster representative for this school year. Thank you. Mr. Kobe, is the public comment protocol?
Yep. You guys have, you just follow the script.
Yes, ma'am. We will now move to our next item of business in reviewing and updating or confirming our Go Team's public comment protocol. Public comment opportunities are available for Go Teams to hear from interested members of the community from Section 3.4 of the Go Team Handbook. Opportunities for public comment shall be provided at least 4 times in a fiscal year and noted on the Go Team's webpage and meeting agenda. Go Team members will not provide responses or engage in direct conversation during public comment. Each Go Team will determine a consistent method for receiving public comments and for parents and other citizens to sign up to address the team. At least 20 minutes of time will be allotted for the public to make comments at meetings where public comment is permitted. And the public will receive at least 2 business days notice of the public comment protocol.
Do you guys have a copy of last year's protocol?
Does everyone have a copy of last year's protocol?
If you let me share, I can
Okay, I'm sorry.
share for you what last year's was.
Okay, it's ready.
So I will let you read it, Dr. Mahan.
Okay.
In case anybody can't see it.
Okay, we're gonna take a moment to review so this is last year's, okay. So 20 minutes will be designated on the agenda for public comment during the second half of the meeting. Community members that would like to participate will be given 2 minutes each during that period of time. Community members can sign up on the agenda in the table for public comment. Participants can use chat or Zoom video to share commentary during that time. There is no requirement for response from the Go Team regarding commentary during that time. Are there any recommendations for updates or changes to our public comment protocol?
Is the timing in terms of 20 minutes, is that a mandated time, or is that one that we just delegated for community members or for public comment? Or is this what's in the Go Team handbook?
The handbook requires at least 20 minutes. So if you wanted to allow more time for the public, you could, but you cannot allot less.
May I have a motion to adopt this public comment protocol?
I, Charlie Jackson, make a motion to adopt this protocol for Go Team meetings.
A second motion?
I, Ms. Ferguson, second it.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand. Okay. Adhering to the agenda, we will now discuss our meeting calendar for this school year. As a reminder, our Go Team is required to have at least 6 business meetings this school year. Additional business meetings, this one does not count. Have at least 4 of the meetings that permit public comment, time for public comment, and meetings cannot be held during the instructional school day. Meetings must be live streamed and recorded, and meeting locations for hybrid meetings must be places which can accommodate the public. May I have suggestions, recommendations for meeting dates and times?
So in accordance, in alignment with what we did last year, we met every third Thursday of the month. And if we followed that time frame, of course, today would serve as our initial meeting since we missed the other ones. The first meeting will be September the 19th. The second will be October the 20th. The third will be November 17th. The fourth, if we're including December this year, will be December 14th. That's the day before we get out for the break. 5th, January 19th. 6th, January 15th. 7th, March 21st. And 8th, April 18th. And that will close out the 8th. Yes, that's the 8th meeting calendar. But Mr. Kobe, are we required to do the 6th or the 8th?
So you have to have at least 6 more business meetings.
Right.
However, you may have as many more business meetings as you would like over the 6.
All right. So yeah, those will be all the third Thursdays until the end of the school 2023-24.
And this is a total of 8, right?
Yes.
Renee, okay. We now need to determine at which meeting we will allocate time for public comment. As a reminder, we must allow for public comment at least 4 times during the school year.
So again, if we need to go over those dates again, it's September 19th, October 20th, November 17th, December 14th, January 19th, February 15th, March 21st, and April 18th.
That September 19th looks like it's a Tuesday. Are we doing Tuesdays or Thursdays?
Thursdays. You said September?
Yeah, I think that would be then September 21st, it looks like.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. That very well be correct. I'm
I think
sorry.
those are correct though.
Thank you.
Actually, it looks like they might be a little off. I'm wondering if maybe it looks like October would be the 19th.
Hello.
I think we're like a day off on all those. Or unless I completely
Yeah.
could be looking at it incorrectly.
In November should be the 16th.
Mhm.
December would be the 14th. That one is correct.
Yeah, that would-
January would be the 18th.
So for December, we would be doing the second week in December to accommodate for winter break. Is that
For
right?
winter break.
then
January would be the 18th.
18th.
February would be the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
March would be the 21st. And April would be the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just choosing 4 of these meetings to permit time for public comments. Do we just need
I
to state-
suggest, I suggest October 19th, December 14th, February 15th, and April 18th.
Will you say those again?
Sure. October 19th,
Mhm.
December 14th, February 15th, and April 18th as the 4 open for public comment.
I second that. That gives every other week or every other month, and it's 2 per semester.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, now that we've determined our calendar, may I have a motion to approve the calendar?
Did you announce the meeting time?
No, I did not.
Okay.
So the meeting time, would that be something that I would open up to the floor, Mr. Kobe? I just don't see it written in here.
Yes, ma'am. That's
Okay.
part of deciding on the day and time of the meeting. So
Okay, so let's also determine the time in which we would have the meeting on these Thursdays. May I have a recommendation or suggestion for the time?
I recommend 4:15.
$4:15 for a start time. Do we need an end time as well, Mr. Kobe? No, okay. Is everyone okay with 4:15?
That's good. I am.
Okay, now that we have determined our calendar, may I have a motion to approve the calendar?
I, Keely Sutton, motion to move the calendar.
Darrell Winston, second.
All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, please raise your hand. Any abstentions, please raise your hand. Please enter these dates into your personal calendar so you don't forget them. Now we will determine our Go Team meeting norms. We'll begin by reviewing the initial Go Team meeting norms. They are as follows. This is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. We will be fully present. We will follow the agenda as noticed to the public and stay on task. We will be respectful of each other at all times. We will be open-minded. We invite and welcome contributions of every member and listen to each other. We will respect all ideas and assume good intentions. We will approach differences of opinion with curiosity. Does anyone have any changes to these norms? May I have a motion to adopt these norms for our Go Team?
I, Mr. Jackson, vote to adopt, I nominate to adopt these conditions for our Go Team.
A
I,
second?
Darrell Woodson, second the motion.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Thank you. All opposed, say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand. We will now move to the discussion items on our agenda, which we just keep moving, right, Mr. Kobe, at this point, okay? We will now move on to the information items. I have no updates at this time. Does
So
anyone-
on your agenda, you did have parent engagement events thus far and upcoming parent engagement events. And then a discussion item of suggestions for parent engagement are on the agenda that you posted. So I don't know if you have updates on any of those.
Parent engagement events that are coming up, Ms.
Yeah, that's what you have on your agenda is parent engagement events thus far, upcoming parent engagement, and then suggestions for parent engagement were on your agenda. So I don't know if you had any comments.
You want me to respond to that, Dr. Mahan?
Mhm.
Okay. I am the school and community engagement manager for Price. I will drop this also in the chat so that you all will have an electronic copy. But for the month of September, of course, for family engagement, first and foremost, we have our football and softball teams are performing at present for fall sports. This past week was a bye week for us, but the next 3 Saturdays, we have games. And I will share those dates with you. We had a session today with University for Parents. That session covered real career building skills, resume writing, applications for jobs and how to dress for success in the parent university. We will have another session next week from 11 to 12. Today's session was from 10 to 12. We also have on the calendar the Million Fathers March on September 15th. Via APS, and Price has also signed on to participate. It is Hispanic Heritage Month beginning September 15th. We will have our fiesta on September 29th. It's a Taste of Price, South American style from 5 until 7:30 p.m. It will be here at Price Middle. We will have our first Title I parent meeting and curriculum night. It is also parent-teacher conferences on September 22nd. Conferences will take place both realms via Zoom and in person. So parents will have access to have conferences with teachers during the day for those parents who may be working and not able to leave their jobs to come here physically to the school. Let me make sure that I'm not missing any other dates. As of right now, those are our, we will have sessions in Parent University every Tuesday. So the 12th, the 19th, as well as the 26th will be Parent University days. On these days, parents have the opportunity to come in, use technology, computers if necessary for job searches, writing resumes. They have support from myself, as well as our University for Parents liaison, who is Miss Hill. And she will be here on Tuesdays to work with parents. But our major events are the Title I Parent-Teacher Conference and Curriculum Night, again, which is on the 22nd. The Fiesta, which is on the 29th. And our Million Fathers March, which is September 15th. And I will drop that calendar. Let me do that now. so that you have access to it.
Thank you, Ms. Sutton. Does anyone have any other announcements? Save the date, the Go Team G3 Summit is returning this year on Saturday, September 23rd. Join us for a day to learn all about the power of connection. We hope all Go Team members can attend. And the Go Team office would like to remind all Go Team members that they must complete the orientation training within 1 calendar year. I think everyone here has already done that for this year because you're on this call. But we have to complete it every year to be in compliance. We have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I, Mr. Jackson, make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
A second?
I'm Megan Arthur, second.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Okay, all opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. You don't want to adjourn, Ms. Sutton? Okay, I'll be here. Any abstentions? Please say abstain or raise your hand. Okay, thank you all. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Good
Thank you
evening.
so much.
Thank you.
evening.
Ms. Sutton did drop the News with Purpose update in the chat for those that want to capture it.
And the calendar.
Calendar one. When you have a moment, if you could please forward me Miss King's resignation, I would really appreciate it. But I have to hop off and go to another Go Team meeting. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Look forward to
Everyone, have a
working with
great
you this year.
evening.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Ms. Jacoby.
Bye.
Dr. Mahan, do you have that?
The
I'll send
resignation,
it. If she sent it through email, I will send you what she sent me,
please.
Ms. King. I will
Okay.
write.
Okay.
Mhm.
Did we